1964, Kentuckian Jim Bunning pitched a perfect game for the Philadelphia Phillies. The first time that had happened since 1880. The 1-hour stop-motion animated movie, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, premiered, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. While the world history will recall the perils of the Vietnam War, for FFA members, we know the 60s as the time when the new farmers of America and the future farmers of America merged, and when women were welcomed into membership. It is certainly an honor to have the Kentucky FFA State Officer Team from 1964 to 1965 with us this evening. Please join me in welcoming this team on behalf of the 1964-1965 team to the podium to bring greetings.
Fellow FFA officers, guests, I'm just amazed at what I've seen tonight. I hadn't been here since 1964 and 65. I went down the other day to get one of my corduroy jackets, and I've got 5 of them, and I want to tell you, in 50 years they'll shrink. Mine have gone down 2 sizes. But you heard that saying that I've got a tie older than you are? I did have my FFA tie in there, and that's 55 years old. I wore it to Scotland when I was an exchange student, and to Greece when I was an exchange student. So lots have changed. One of the changes that I noticed the most is having these young ladies in our organization, and I'm so happy about that, because when we were young, we were members of another club when we were in grade school, and they had boys and girls. Then we got to high school, and it was FFA and FHA. So unfortunately, it came after our time that the girls joined, but we were all boys. We didn't dance, I can tell you that right now. So we bring greetings. Cecil Goodlett was on the team with me. I was the state vice president, and we're happy to be here, and thanks for all the memories.
About everything that would need to be said. It is an honor to be back. It is an honor to keep an association with this organization throughout the years, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And I wish everybody here a pleasant convention. Be safe. Thank you.
Thank you for being here tonight. Being able to hear your team's stories is truly inspiring. On behalf of Kentucky FFA, I would like to thank you for your year of service. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for your 1964-1965 Kentucky State FFA Officer Team.
They say our love won't pay the rent, for it's earned, our money's off.
1989 is more than just the title of a Taylor Swift album. It marks the year that Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie Simpson first appeared on television, and the year that Nintendo released the Game Boy. If you wanted to purchase gas, it would cost you a whopping 97 cents. And just as the 60s signaled a time of change in the FFA, so did the late 80s. With a name change to our organization and magazine, it made it clear that as the agricultural industry expanded, so must the scope of the FFA. In Kentucky, 1989 was the first time the state FFA president was addressed as Madam President. Please welcome the state officers that led our association as we entered the 90s, the 1989-1990 Kentucky FFA State Officer Team. It is my pleasure to welcome to the podium Ms. Susan Smithson-Wright, the first female Kentucky FFA State President, to bring greetings.
Well, good evening, everyone. What an honor it is for myself and my team to be here in the home that Rupp built and with the greatest organization in the world and the greatest state association, the Kentucky FFA. Now, let me begin by telling you, they told me not to use the gavel, and they said, do not say, FFA members, why are we here? Because we've already done that, but I tell you what, it is so tempting. As you heard, my name is Susan Smithson-Wright. 25 years ago, my officer team and I we're here at the Kentucky FFA Convention. It was actually in Louisville, and that year we fought tornadoes. Now, can you imagine going back and forth between sessions in a parking garage just to make sure that you were safe? It presented some challenges, but it also created an awful lot of stories. I'd like to introduce the state FFA officer team that I served with that year, starting with David Pace. David was our state vice president. We also had James Franklin, one of our state vice presidents, Chad Sullivan, state vice president, Eric Porter, our state sentinel, and Chad Burdett, one of our state vice presidents. It was a pleasure serving with this group, and what an honor it is to be here with you tonight. We are so excited to see the changes in the organization, to see where we were 25 years ago and where we are today. We salute each and every one of you.
Miss Wright, we are so glad to have you and your team with us here tonight. It is true that while years may pass, the beliefs and values of the Kentucky FFA remain consistent since day one. Thank you and your team for your continued support and dedication of Kentucky FFA.
I didn't really mean to hurt you.
It was 10 years ago when YouTube entered our vocabulary. Star Wars 3 and Harry Potter dominated movie screens everywhere. It's true that gas is cheaper today than it was in 2005, but hey, I wouldn't mind getting back to that 97-cent price. Although a decade may have passed, it has not aged the friendship of those who sported the association back then. I am pleased to welcome State President Charlie Doom to bring greetings on behalf of her team.
Good evening, Kentucky FFA. It's an honor to be here on behalf of the 2004-2005 State FFA officer team. Fortunately, tonight we're joined by 9 members of our team: Matthew Anderson, Cody Back, Whitney Grubb, Brian Pruitt, Sarah Jo Green, Brittany Wilkinson, Brandy Bronner, and Sarah Baker. I'll have to admit, I don't know all of their married names, so I didn't use them tonight. But I want to bring greetings on behalf of our team and congratulate each one of you for the year that you've had in FFA, for the breakthrough experiences that you've had, whether it be in a speaking contest, another career development event, potentially through your SAE, or running for a leadership position within your chapter, region, or state. No amount of Botox will make me realize just how old it feels to be here after 10 years. But instead of sharing any sage advice, I wanted to take a note from your state vice president and share a couple of words from another language with you. I currently live in Kenya, where they speak Swahili. And they have approximately 30 different greetings that you can use there, which is hard when you're learning Swahili, but they have one for every situation you might think of. One of those is for a younger person to greet an elder. So I want to have a little bit of audience participation from the FFA members. I want you all to greet an elder that is near you, and what you do to do that is you say the word shikamo, and an elder will then respond to you, marahaba. So we're going to try it in just a second. So again, the FFA members say shikamo, and advisors, sponsors, alumni members would then respond with marahaba. And what that means is the young person is saying to the elder, I respect you. And the elder is then responding, thank you for your respect. So FFA members, say with me, shikamo. And advisors and other guests, please say marahaba. Thank you.
Ms. Doom, it is an honor to have your team back here to celebrate your year of service. Thank you so very much for your year of service and all that you've done for Kentucky FFA. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get another round of applause for our 10th, 25th, and 50th anniversary FFA teams.